5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Deducter bringing you set 1 of Woongjin Stars vs STX. So, we have Shuttle playing for STX, the orange Protoss at the 1 o'clock position, and then we have Really playing for Woongjin, the teal Terran, at the 5 o'clock position. Really and Shuttle are both roughly equal players. They're both sort of mediocre-ish. They're not the best, but at times they can pull out pretty good play. However, this map is called New Empire of the Sun, and in statistics, PvT, it's basically equal. It's like 10-9, Protoss versus Terran. So we have an even matchup between two players of roughly the same skill level on a map that's basically equal for both Protoss and Terran. So this is going to be interesting matchup. I cannot predict who has the advantage at this point. I mean, I could flip a coin, but that would not be any more informative. Looks like we have some Koreans hiding their faces behind Coke bottles. That's a new one, I guess. Usually they try to hide their faces a lot more. These days they seem to be much less shy. You know, you can at least see part of their faces, so that's pretty good. Looks like Shuttle's getting down his gateway right next to his Nexus, and Really's Shuttle's sending his probe to scout in the right direction. If Really's not careful, if he's going for like some sort of 14cc, he needs to watch out for a gas steal. But yeah, Really's putting down his refinery. He's not doing 14cc, and he's putting down his barracks. So he's probably going to go factory into expand. Usually that's what happens. Really should send out a scout to try to see if maybe Shuttle's going for some sort of 12 Nexus, and Shuttle's already scouting the right direction. I think Really knows where Shuttle is because the probe arrived pretty early. I guess you never know. It might be a probe sent out real early, but I think it's a reasonable assumption that the probe came from either the top right or the 1 o'clock or the 7 o'clock position. So it looks like this probe is just causing a bit of, not really even doing anything serious, just picking away at the health of these SCVs, more of an irritant than anything else. Sometimes players are not careful and they can lose SCVs to this sort of probe attack, but usually that's not the case. Marine's going to come out and just ward off the probe. That probe actually managed to do a little bit of damage to that Marine. 5 damage. Very nice. Yeah, the factory has been gone down earlier for Really. He's going to put down his command center soon, probably. Unless he wants to go for like some sort of 2-fact push, but that's probably not going to happen. That's interesting. Really scouted in the bottom right, so now he must know that Shuttle's in the top left position. I mean the top right position, and he scouted the bottom left is what I mean. I should use the o'clock terminology. I think I'm better with that. So, but yeah, I'm just practicing right now, trying to say I do not like these left-right directions nearly as much. Looks like a starport going down for Really, and now Really sending his SCV to scout the 11 o'clock position just to be absolutely sure. So, I mean, if you didn't know now, oh, that's not Really scout. Yeah, that's a Dragoons. Oh wait, never mind. That is Really scout. Apologize about that confusion, viewers. Machine shop spinning for Really, and cybernetics core spinning for Shuttle. So nothing's out of the ordinary. Really's probably getting mines right now. Nexus going down for Shuttle, and the command center is probably going down very soon for Really. Ooh, control tower on that starport. That's interesting. So he's probably going to go for some sort of drop and not cloaked raves, because I've never seen cloaked raves against Protoss like that. But a drop might do pretty good damage. A few vultures in the back can cause some havoc. Looks like probe coming down, but it's gonna meet this vulture and get killed. So nothing too exciting. Ooh, mine upgrade finished for the Vulture, so it's gonna be able to lay a few mines just to slow down any sort of incoming Dragoons and act as a scout. Looks like really is moving out some of his units, probably his Marines and a few Vultures north towards Shuttle's base. Probably just gonna put a little bit of pressure on. I wonder if he has tanks built, because without tanks is kind of not a very good idea to send these Marines out unescorted like this, because they're really more useful for absorbing damage and protecting tanks. Really, he's brought a dropship in with his and loaded up the Vultures. There's a pylon for Shuttle scouting. Oh, I think I know what really he's going to do. He's going to attack with the Marines to distract Shuttle while he goes in for the drop. That's pretty clever. I really like this play. But unfortunately, the pylon spots Shuttle, and Shuttle's onto this. Shuttle knows what's coming. He's got his Dragoons in position, intercepting these Vultures. The mines are going down but not exploding. However, really he's bringing his Marines coming from the south, and they're going to be able to lay some mines near the choke point connecting the natural of Shuttle's base. It looks like these Marines are able to do some damage here to the probe lines, but not too much. Some mines are going down. They're doing reasonable damage to the Dragoons, but it's not any sort of crippling damage at this point, and the Marines are pretty much all dead at this point too. So it doesn't look like the attack accomplished too much. Maybe killed a few probes, but not the most effective of attacks. This really has got a lone Vulture in the base here, not really doing much. Mining the front, it exploded, bring these two Dragoons down to very low HP. One has 5 kills, probably from the Marines. So, yeah. I thought that was a really clever attack by Really, if he executed it a bit better. But, alas, it did not work out for him, and Shuttle was in position to intercept. Looks like Really's coming in for yet another drop with his Vultures. He's dropping just one at natural. He's putting down some mines, probably hoping something would march into them, but no. The Vulture getting stopped, and this drop doesn't work either. Really, he's not having much luck with his drops this game. Or, I think it's more Shuttle doing pretty good on his defense, and not really luck in the strictest sense. Looks like Shuttle's pushing out. He's got observers. He's probably going to start pushing. Oh, he's walled off his base completely. That's bit weird. He must be really worried about Vultures. Well, it looks like Shuttle's bringing a dropship for another drop. He can drop a few Vultures here in the back. He might do some damage. Shuttle, what are you doing with that dropship? I mean, not Shuttle, Really. Terrible play by Really. Got his his dropship picked off for no reason at all. And didn't manage to drop any of the Vultures. That is not too good. It looks like, yeah, Shuttle's managed to wall himself into his base. Is that a mistake? Programmers usually don't make mistakes like that. I don't know. He must really be worried about Vultures or something. Or maybe there's a gap that I'm not noticing there. But I thought he has pylons just lining up all the way. I don't know. Shuttle's got a Shuttle out, probably gonna... Yeah, never mind. He's almost walled off his main, but just enough space for one Dragoon to squeeze through. Looks like Shuttle's got a Shuttle out, probably loaded with a few Zealots. Gonna do some Zealot bombs on any tanks that Really has. And Shuttle looks like he's about ready to apply a bit of pressure at the front, putting down a Stargate. Probably going for early Arbiters. That's usually what players do. So, usually you try to get another base before putting down Arbiters, but Best does 2 base Arbiters at a time. It looks like there's a big attack coming from Shuttle, going to Really's base, picking off one of the tanks. He still has 3 tanks. That's plenty if he can siege up. But Shuttle's dropping Zealots all over the unsieged tanks. Not really the most effective use of the Zealot bomb. The Zealots are cleaned up, but Really has 4 tanks. Why is he not sieging up? Shuttle's causing massive havoc with his Dragoons in the front here. Really needs to siege up these tanks. I have no idea why he's not sieging up. Barracks goes down for Really. His Natural is in full breach right now. Shuttle's bearing down with a control group of Dragoons, and Really is still not sieging his tank. He He probably doesn't have siege mode researched or something. This is just baffling play. By really, that or he's really worried about Zealot bombs, but he already took care of them. I'm not quite sure what really he's doing this game in terms of his tanks there. I'm a bit confused by it. Did I just see a fleet beacon go down? That was a fleet beacon and a +1 upgrade air coming from Shuttle. He's doing 2 base carriers. You almost never see 2 base carriers anymore. I mean, I hate to call this game this early, but unless Shuttle has ungodly carrier control, it's GG. Because 2 base carriers doesn't work anymore. Even if you completely surprise the Terran. Well, if you completely surprise the Terran when you have like 4 carriers and he doesn't even have an armory down, sure, you can win, but that's not going to happen. Really, he's already got his 3rd base up and going, transferring SCVs there, sending in troops to protect it, and Shuttle doesn't even have a 3rd base, so really is massively economically ahead. Shuttle grabbing an island expansion, that's a pretty good idea. With his Protoss usually can defend the island expansions better than Terrans. So it looks like, yeah, carriers are going to come out soon for Shuttle, and I just don't know why he would do this. I mean, it is unorthodox, and usually going for unorthodox strategy, I'm a fan of going for unorthodox strategies. Usually you get some sort of at least mind game advantage, throw your opponent off their game, but you don't do 2 base carriers anymore. That's not a good choice if you want to do something unexpected. 2 base arbiters, sure, that works great, but I don't see. He's just putting down his Citadel of Doom now, so he doesn't even have speed Zealots. He does have 2 Shuttles though. These Zealot bombs can do some serious damage. Yeah, dropping Zealots all over the place, doing serious damage to these tanks. He's got lots of Dragoons bearing down. I don't think really has enough to hold off this attack here. Dragoons pushing, tanks getting killed, Vultures exploding, everything going to hell for Really's forces completely destroyed. He probably has some reinforcements coming, yeah, but Shuttle's doing damage to any reinforcing tanks. Ooh, Shuttle managed to pick up 2 Dragoons with his Shuttle that were about to be killed by mines. Some pretty good play. Really managed to hold off this attack, but he's got nothing left. He's literally got like 2 tanks.